This is Vijayalakshmi, Navy RTBP, Kadapa, Department of Science. Today, in previous class, we discussed about different types of blood cells, blood, the fluid connective tissue. Children, in last class, I skipped one small topic, that is platelets. Today, let us discuss about platelets. Platelets are the another type of blood cells like RBC, WBC. There is another type of blood cells called platelets. Platelets are also called as thrombocytes. The main function of platelets is for the coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood means clotting of blood. Whenever the shape of these thrombocytes are oval, round or biconvex in shape. And these platelets or thrombocytes do not have nucleus. In previous class we discussed about red blood cells are also called as erythrocytes. White blood cells are also called as leukocytes. Now platelets are also called as thrombocytes. And these platelets do not have any nucleus. The main function of platelets is the coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood means clotting of blood. Whenever the blood vessel get injured, these platelets rush to the site of injury and produce some protein fibers. And these protein fibers entangle the blood cells and prevent the loss of the blood, forming a clot. If thrombocytes are absent, large volume of blood will be oozes out from a small injury, and sometimes it may lead to the death of the person. These platelets help for coagulation of blood. Platelets are also called as thrombocytes. Now let us go for another tissue called nervous tissue. Children, when you are crossing the road, your eyes should coordinate with your body, other body parts like legs. There should be communication with your eyes and with your body parts. To communicate all this, there is a communication network inside our body. This communication network is called as nervous tissue. What we call it? Nervous tissue. The communication is sent in the form of fibers like network connecting all the body parts. The communication is sent through the fibers like network which connect all these body parts. These fibers like network, we call it as neuron. What we call it? Neuron. This is the diagram of neuron. You already learned about the diagram of neuron in class 8. Neuron is the longest cell in our body, and this neuron is a main fundamental unit of our nervous tissue or our nervous system. And let us discuss what are the various parts in the nervous system, various parts in the neuron. Neuron is also called as nerve cells. When you go through this diagram, the first important part which you can see, a circle shaped part, a star shaped part, we call it as cyton. And this cyton consists of all cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Apart from this, they also have some spherical granule-like structures called Nissl granules. We call them as Nissl granules. What we call them? We call them as Nissl granules. And this part is called cyton. When you observe this cyton, there is a centrally located nucleus, and from this cyton you can see small projections, small branches which look like branches of tree. These projections we call them as dendrites. What we call them? Dendrite. From cyton, small branched projections arises. These projections we call them as dendrites. From cyton, another long projection arises. This long projection is called axon. Axon is also called as nerve fiber. This axon is covered with a sheath. That sheath, a protein sheath, the sheath is called myelin sheath. And this myelin sheath is not continuous but broken at regular intervals. These broken parts we call them as nodes of Ranvier. The main function of this myelin sheath is to prevent the electric impulse which is carried by this neuron. The impulses or information should not be leaked. The leakage of electrical impulse is done by myelin sheath. Now, this long fiber-like structure we call it as axon. Now, every neuron ends with nerve terminals. So, what are the three major parts? Cyton, dendrites, axon, nerve terminals. Neuron is a fundamental unit of nerve cells, nerve tissue. Now let us see how the information will be passed in the neuron. Before going to this, we can have a best example. You take the example of a switch, a bulb and a wire. The switch, the electricity passes from switchboard to the bulb through a wires. These wires, the information or the electrical signals is passed through the wire so that the bulb will glow. Similarly, the electrical impulses that are produced in our body, the signals that are produced in our body passes through neuron, from one neuron to another neuron. Let us discuss the direction of flow of information. The information first flows from cyton, then to axon, then to nerve terminals, then to the dendrite of another neuron. In this way, the information will be passed from one neuron to another neuron. There will be a network of connecting tissues. These network of connecting tissues, we call them as neurons. Neurons play very important role in transmitting the information from body parts to brain, brain to the body parts, and to the via spinal cord. And this neuron, the very important things, children, the cells and tissues may divide, but the neurons cannot divide. They are formed only in the embryonic stage, and they are divided only in the womb of the mother. When these neurons does not divide, if they get damaged, and the damage will be permanent. The disease like polio, the neurons are get damaged. That's why the person is unable to walk or stand without any support. Now let us go back to the blood groups. These blood groups was discovered by Karl Landsteiner in 1900. Before that, we don't know what are the different types of blood group. According to him, based on the presence of antigens and antibodies, the blood groups are divided into 4 types. How many types? These antigens and antibodies are some substances that are present on RBC, that is present on plasma. Antigens are some chemical substances present on RBC. Antibodies are present in plasma. Every human beings have antigens and antibodies. Based on the presence and absence of antigens and antibodies, blood groups are divided into 4 types. A blood group, B blood group, AB blood group, OB blood group. Let us see what are the antigens that are present in A blood group. A blood group consists of antigen A and antibody B. B blood group consists of B antigen, antibody A. AB blood groups consist of A antigen on RBC, B antigen on RBC, but they do not have antibodies. Now coming to the O blood group. O blood group do not have any antigens on RBC, but they have antibodies, A antibody, B antibody, A antibody, B antibody. Once again we recall it. A consists of A antigen, B antibody. B blood group consists of B antigen, A antibody. AB blood groups consist of A antigen, B antigen, but no antibodies. O blood group do not have any antigen, but they have antibodies A, antibody B. Now, the AB blood group is called universal donor. Due to absence of antibodies in their plasma, they can receive blood from A blood group, B blood group, AB blood group, O blood group. That's why AB blood group is called universal donor, universal recipient, AB blood group is called universal recipient. Now coming to the O blood group can donate blood to any person like A, B, AB and O itself. That's why O blood group is called universal donor, Now let us see who can donate blood to whom. A can donate blood to A. A cannot donate blood to B. A cannot donate blood to AB. A cannot donate blood to O. Now coming to the B. B cannot donate blood to A. B can donate blood to B. B cannot donate blood to AB. It cannot donate blood to O. AB. AB cannot donate blood to A. AB cannot donate blood to B. AB can donate blood to AB and AB cannot donate blood to O. Now coming to the O blood group. O can donate blood to A, B, AB, O. So that's why it is called universal donor. What we call it? Universal donor. AB can donate blood to we call it as universal donors. AB is called universal donor and O is called AB is called universal recipient and O is called universal donor. So AB can take blood. Sorry, children. AB can take blood. AB can receive blood from A. It can also receive blood from B. So that's why it is called as universal recipient. What we call it? Universal recipient. O blood group is called universal donor and AB blood group is called universal recipient. Apart from A and B antigen, there is another antigen in the blood. That another antigen is called RH factor. What we call it? RH factor. This RH factor is first observed in a monkey called rhesus monkey. That's why it is called also as rhesus factor. What we call it? Rhesus factor. And this 97% of population in the world contain RH factor. The person who has RH factor, they are called as RH positive. And the person who do not have RH factor, we call them as RH negative. For example, A blood group consists of RH factor, it is called RH positive. For example, if A RH factor is absent, it is called RH negative, that is B negative. And children, for this we can conduct a small lab activity. Otherwise, I advise you go to your nearby hospital and check your blood group and preserve your receipt and what type of blood group do you have. Take the permission of your parents and go and collect it. That is a project work for you. Today, thank you children, and tomorrow in the next class, we'll meet in the plasma membrane. Thank you.